on the 6-week pregnancy update with baby number 2 topic. We have really no idea any names that we would use for a girl or a boy. So I'm curious to know what your top baby name picks are if you are done having babies, or names that you love but aren't going to use, or even the names of your babies. Let me know what names you love, what names you have used. I am so extremely picky, and I also have like 9 million family members, mostly girls. We have lots of girls in our family. So I feel like the name options are very limited because I don't want to name them the same as like my nieces and nephews. I have about 5 names that I can tolerate for a boy, and then really no girl names at all. Since our last name is Meadows, I kind of like the like MM thing for a girl. I don't know why. I feel like that's super cute. Just think like Maddie Meadows or Maggie Meadows. It's so cute. And I also like a lot of like nature names. But because our name is pretty naturey, I just feel like if I was like Lily Meadows or something like that, it would be a lot. Let me know what you think sounds good with the last name Meadows. First names, middle names, all of it for a boy and a girl. We could use some help. I hope once we know the gender, it'll be easier for me to narrow it down because I won't be looking for boy and girl names. So I won't have to spend days on end searching for the perfect name. I can really just narrow it down to specifically what we are looking for. So yeah, that will be our next big task after we know the gender results, is picking a name for this sweet baby. I'm still pretty nauseous. If I let myself get an empty stomach, it is no good. I've been eating a lot of protein still. Protein. Drinking lots of milk, eating lots of yogurt, beef, salmon, cheese, all of the things. That definitely makes a difference for me. And try to stay well hydrated, taking my Parallel prenatal vitamins. I also just I was taking the conception pack of the Parallel vitamins, and then I upgraded, I guess it's an upgrade. I switched over to the first trimester pack, which I got yesterday, so I took that for the first time yesterday, and then also their probiotics, because there has been some research that shows if you take probiotics or you eat probiotic-rich food or fermented foods, that it helps reduce your risk of testing positive for Group B strep, which is what they test you for at the end of pregnancy. And if you have Group B strep when you're tested, which is just like a normal bacteria that's found in some people's like lower gut, then they recommend that you get antibiotics during labor. And obviously, I would really just prefer to not have to do that if I had the choice. Sometimes it means you have to get to the hospital a little bit earlier, and you have to be hooked up to the fluids and an IV, and you have to get it every 4 hours, and it really burns. It's penicillin, and a lot of people have burning with it. Pretty much everyone, while I was a nurse, complained about burning from the penicillin. I was just looking at the car behind me, and they have glasses on, but it looked like they had like zombie eyes because there's all of these red lights from trucks and taillights shining on them, so you can only see like the little lights, and it looks really terrifying in the mirror. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I'm trying to reduce my risk of having Group B strep when they test me. So I am doing lots of probiotic foods, taking a probiotic. I need to get some more sauerkraut, kimchi. The one I had was raw, and you're not really supposed to eat it raw when you are pregnant. we were supposed to have it pasteurized, which I'm sure it's fine, but there's been so many recalls recently. There was just a recall on organic baby carrots and organic regular carrots and ground beef, and there was one more thing, can't remember, but anyways, it seems like there's a bunch of issues with food recently, so I'm gonna try to eat as safely as I can to avoid getting sick and getting baby sick. So yeah, there is my 6-week update. If I had to guess a gender, I'm kind of leaning towards girl. I want a boy, but I'm kind of leaning towards girl because I felt nauseous way sooner this time. Before I even tested positive, which was really early, I was like 3 weeks, 3 days when I was feeling symptoms. I was feeling very nauseous and fatigued, and I didn't feel that with my son until like 6 weeks, probably a little bit after 6 weeks. And with my son, I didn't have very good skin going into pregnancy. Like, I was breaking out quite a bit. But when I got pregnant with him, my skin looked so much better. Like, it cleared up pretty quickly. But this time around, my skin has still been pretty good since having my son and since being pregnant with him. And now I'm starting to break out more. So I'm wondering if that means anything. But for cravings, it is pretty similar. I actually don't really have any cravings. I craved buttered pasta one night, and then my husband got some sourdough for his work lunches, and then I just had to have sourdough. But besides that, I haven't really had any crazy cravings. I just eat very healthy anyways in pregnancy. I don't really like give in to the pregnancy cravings. I just feed my body what it needs, and that typically takes away all of the cravings when I eat the high protein and focus on all the nutrients that I need between like eating fish and eating dairy, eating eggs for the choline. That actually does take away my cravings. I don't really have any issues with that. So yeah, I'm not craving salty or sweet one way or another. That is my 6-week update as of right now. I'll let you know if there are any